Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to a new video. So right now Minnesota is getting pounded by a huge blizzard. And I was thinking, what am I gonna cook today? It's a cold, snowy day. Soup. I love soup. And St. Patrick's Day is coming up. Why not make cabbage soup? So that's what we're gonna make today. And of course, this is Spicy Chef Mike, so we're gonna make it spicy. So let's go. Alrighty, we're starting off by chopping up an onion. So I have a medium-sized yellow onion here. I'm only gonna use half of it because that's what I feel like is gonna be good for this. And here you can watch me kind of struggle to cut this onion. I feel like for the most part, I'm pretty good at this onion. If you see that little nasty bit, don't worry, I did not put that in the soup. I picked that out, don't y'all worry. I do think I'm pretty decent at cutting an onion. Now I'm just cutting up the celery stalk. I don't like big chunks of celery in my soups, so I'm giving it like a fine chop here and then going over it again just to kind of get it even smaller and more fine. Now I'm just cutting up about 1.5 carrots. You know, I learned a great tip. I think it was from the internet or maybe it was TikTok. But if you prep your carrots like the day you get them and just soak them in water, they last for weeks in the fridge. If you put them in the fridge, honestly, it's been a lifesaver. Because I do love carrots. I use them a lot. All right, now here's the star of the show, the cabbage. So I have about a medium-sized head of cabbage. I'm only using 1/4 of it. I think it works well with this specific recipe. Now we're adding the spice. I got 2 little jalapeno peppers here. We're just kind of chopping those up at a bias or at the diagonal. I'm just stepping off screen to get a plate to put these on. Now I'm using my garlic press to mince 6 cloves of garlic. I love garlic. Look, it's Glinda. Let us be glad. Let us be grateful. I'm just kidding, y'all. I'm not gonna sing for you. Don't make me sing. Okay, so in my Glinda pot, I am just heating up some olive oil here, and I'm about to throw in a pound of ground sirloin, which is 93% lean, 7% fat. I like to let it just stay on one side so it can get these little brown bits. I know that doesn't look that great, but you know what? I debated on if I wanted to keep this clip in, but you know what? I'm keeping it in. So I've chopped up all the ground beef. And now I'm putting in my onion, carrot, and celery and just mixing it in there. Okay, so I've let that cook for a few minutes. Now I'm throwing in some garlic. So this is the seasoning mix that I'm gonna put in the soup. I put in half a teaspoon of nature seasoning, a teaspoon of thyme, dill, half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper, half a teaspoon of smoked paprika, and 1 teaspoon of Dashida, or the chicken stock. All right, so I want a tomato base to this soup, so I'm putting in, I put a little extra olive oil, and now I'm putting in some tomato paste and just sauteing that in some olive oil in the pan. All right, so now we're just gonna mix everything together. Now off camera, I did add a little bit more tomato paste, so just for reference. So now that we've got that cooked a little bit, I'm gonna throw in just a splash of chicken stock just so I can deglaze the bottom of the pan to get all those nice yummy bits off of it. And after we've done that, we're gonna pour in the rest of a full container of chicken stock. I'm gonna throw in a can of crushed tomatoes. I'm gonna throw in those jalapenos I cut up. I'm also gonna throw in just a splash of Worcestershire sauce. And then we're going in with the spice mixture. Just gonna mix that all together. Also throw in some pepper. So this is a can of navy beans that I drained and rinsed. And then I'm throwing in a splash of white vinegar. And now the star of the show, put in all that delicious cabbage. And we're just gonna let this come to a boil. Okay, so our soup is boiling. I'm just gonna turn down the heat to about medium-low, and then we're gonna cover it and let it cook for about 15 minutes. Our soup has been cooking for 15 minutes. It's smelling really good in my apartment. And what I did in between that time is I cut up 3 russet potatoes, and we're gonna throw that in there as well. Mix it up very nice. And we're gonna bring it back to a boil, and we're gonna cover it and cook for another 15 minutes or until the potatoes are fork tender. All right, let's look at this soup. Oh, she looks so good. And I checked off camera, the potatoes are fork tender. So this is the part where it's kind of to your taste. So I gave it a quick taste and I felt it needed some more salt and some more pepper. So that's what I threw in, and I just did that until I felt like it was to my taste. And we are ready to serve it. All right, here is my bowl. Now you can have this with anything, aside some bread, some crackers. I'm so excited to eat. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you really enjoyed it. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I really appreciate it. And I will see you next time. Happy St. Patrick's Day.